Have you ever had an experience that was made harder for you because something was grown-up sized? One time I took my daughter, Dot, to the dentist, and it was the grown-up dentist. And even though he was really, really nice and his office was set up for grown-ups, and all of that was fine until she had to sit in the chair. And as she shimmied up onto it, it became clear that her 6-year-old body was going to have to do a lot of extra work to stay in place with her head up on the headrest. In fact, her whole body was about the same size as that top portion of the chair, and then it bends there and goes that way, you know. So we had to prop her up with my purse at the part where the chair bent to keep her from sliding down. She was already nervous that she had a cavity that had to be filled, and not having this place where she could sit without sliding down made the whole experience more nerve-wracking. The world is simply designed with grown-up bodies as the standard, and kids have to either find ways around it, like, when you grab that step stool to find the cookies that mom hid up in the pantry behind the whole wheat crackers. Yeah, we know you do that. Or in Dot's case, we ended up at a dentist's office made for kids. And let me tell you, as the one who receives those bills at the end of that, there's a definite price markup for an entire dental experience made in the image of kids. And it's this reason, though, that I think that kids totally get why it's so important for us to have spaces that are fully accessible. When the world seems to be made for someone else, it feels like we are being left out, and it really stinks. And even though sometimes we can work around it, it gets really old, not to mention uncomfortable, having to be propped up on a dental chair by mom's bag after a while. And it would have just been awesome to have a chair that would have been just right the first time. When we think about the way that our churches are built, oftentimes they weren't designed with disabilities in mind, especially some of our older churches. Usually churches are able to come up with a quick fix to accommodate someone. But often that feels just as awkward as being propped up on a dentist chair by mom's purse. When churches decide to become accessible to all, we're able to work with the churches to make sure that everyone who comes into a church feels like it fits just right. And this means we work on, yes, the physical buildings to make sure everyone has access, but we also work on making sure everyone feels welcome, too. When we think about making spaces accessible to all, we make them better for every single person who comes in. And so my hope, as you're hearing this, that you, our awesome young folks, will start thinking about what accessibility means to you and how you can help your church become accessible to all. Thank you, and God bless you.